One of the most sacred rights we have as Americans is the right to vote. Enshrined in the United States Constitution, the power to elect our federal senators and representatives was given to the states. It also established the Electoral College and gave each state the power to choose electors equal in number to its congressional delegation. With only 13 states at the time, smaller states feared the domination of the presidency by states with larger populations. The framers of our Constitution also believed that state loyalties could surpass the interests of the national government. If presidential candidates were instead required to win somewhat sovereign states instead of a popular vote, the feared domination by states with larger populations would be equalized. In the debate at the Constitutional Convention in 1787, popular vote did come up as an option, as did having state governors or even state legislatures make the selection. But all of those options rooted back to a single point. As Gouverneur Morris from Pennsylvania said at the time, quote, "It will be like the election of a pope by a conclave of cardinals, ripe with cabals, factions, and intrigue without any real merit." James Madison argued that a president would be unwilling to oppose the Congress if doing so would result directly in his electoral defeat. And thus, the idea for the Electoral College was born. Electors are not a permanent sitting political body, so it would be difficult for a presidential candidate to promise them something beyond the election. The president also would not have to appease them for his re-election, as a new group of electors would be composed for each presidential election. And by adopting this model, the people of each state choose their electors, who in turn follow the people's wish to cast their own vote for president. Therefore, the people of each state have been guaranteed a voice in the election of every U.S. president since then. It is a collective voice, one chosen by its people and formulated in a way suitable to its people. Most states, as we know, have a winner-take-all system. Maine and Nebraska, as we've heard, made the decision to award electors based on congressional districts. I'd say the wisdom of doing so ensures that the population centers in the southern part of Maine don't overshadow and overwhelm the voices of those in the northern and outer parts. Maybe the rest of the country should follow our course. This would democratize presidential elections without the unconstitutional workaround being presented in the bill before us today. The bill before us threatens the voice of every voter in Maine by entering Maine into a compact where we let the people of other states, the people in other semi-sovereign bodies who may not share our values, our customs, our way of life, have the power to assign our very own electors to the candidate of their choice. It violates its own stated purpose. The bill actually takes away Maine's unique voice. The bill takes away my voice, your voice, and the voices of those we represent. It takes away the very right that we as a nation upheld for nearly 250 years. And it does so not in the orderly process for amendment that is enshrined in Article 5 of the Constitution, but in extra-constitutional legerdemain. Perversely, members of this Senate a couple of weeks ago expressed fear of the amendment process that should be used if you wish to change the Electoral College system. And some would just ignore and pass this measure before you. It is bizarre that our own rules here in the legislature require a two-thirds vote to request an Article 5 convention to propose amendments to the Constitution, and yet we have this measure that would subvert the Constitution that can be enacted with a simple majority. For these reasons, Mr. President, I respectfully ask to vote for the pending motion. Why should we fear the process that the founders created? If the national popular election of president is a worthy end, and that is a worthy debate, then let the debate be joined. Let the proposal be offered to by Congress or through an Article 5 convention called by the legislatures for the purpose. But let's not ignore and disrespect the one document that embodies the promise of America, the one document that, tattered as it is, still remains the beating heart of our democracy. I urge you to vote again for the pending motion. Thank you.